Hello. It is Stacy Cole and Carol Hughes. Carol filling in for Tony Bruschi, who is off this week.
Best I can.
Oh, honey, you do a beautiful job. You're not Tony, but
no, I'm so not Tony.
Yeah, I'm not either. Trust me, I'm not. But we have our own unique connection here.
Yes,
so
we do.
It's just a different show this week. But we've had no shortage of disgusting, horrible stories, and we've got one
so
for
many.
you today. So before we get into the story, I just want to ask, and I know the answer, but I'm going to ask it. Did you sleep over at friends' homes when you were a kid?
I sure did.
So
I did it quite a bit. Thank God in no house like this, but
yeah. And one story I do want to share, and I'm actually going to say my teacher's name because he was just a lovely human, and he's still alive. He's still out there. He's not on Facebook, I don't think. His name was Mr. Swigum, and I think it was 4th or 5th grade that he taught. But at the end of the school year, like around this time, he invited the entire class over to his home. And he and his wife like barbecued hot dogs and hamburgers, and we had chips, and we told ghost stories, and we all slept in his basement. Now, this was a very long time ago. We're talking probably early 80s. Well, no, it was much before that, probably 70s. So I'm dating myself here, but the parents drove the kids to the house. They all knew this teacher. He was a beloved teacher. There was nothing nefarious going on. He is a lovely man. You could go to him with anything. He was like a Mr. Rogers. So just the perfect individual. There was no scandal there, nothing. It was lovely. It could never happen today.
Mm-mm.
Never.
No. I don't know if I was a parent that I would be comfortable with that, even if he's the nicest guy ever. I don't know that I'd be comfortable with it.
I wonder if you would have 30 years ago.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I don't think there would have been any issue about it.
Yeah,
but
it was sanctioned by the school. They were fine with it.
Oh my God, a school
teacher.
would never sanction an event like that. Never these days.
No.
Too much liability.
Oh, I would think there would almost be a crime charged with doing that, nowadays. So the story that we're referencing, Tony and I did this story when it first came out, and I think it was sometime this spring. Michael Meyden, a 57-year-old resident of Lake, I think it's Oswego in Oregon, was sentenced to 2 years in prison for drugging his daughter and her friends with fruit smoothies laced with benzodiazepines, so sleeping medication. His actions during a sleepover last summer, have shocked the community and led to widespread condemnation. The incident occurred last summer when he organized a sleepover for his 12-year-old daughter and her 3 friends. Now, just like young girls would do, they were supposed to go to bed by 11, but they were obviously not ready to go to sleep. He said, I wanted them to be well rested for the next day, but I also wanted to get some sleep myself, he explained during the sentencing. He decided to lace fruit smoothies with a sleep medication, which he then offered to the girls. 2 of the friends drank the smoothies and soon fell unconscious. A third girl, who was suspicious of the situation, declined the drink and then texted a family friend for help after witnessing some unusual behavior from the dad. So I think she had tried to reach out to her mom, and mom wasn't responding because it was late. So I think she texted a neighbor or something, if I remember correctly. Now, the quick thinking girl alerted a family friend by text message after seeing Meyden return to check to see if the girls were asleep. Now, she was pretending to be asleep. She's watching this.
Smart girl.
Yeah, very
really smart girl.
Mom and dad taught her well. So his actions included moving the arm of one of the girls, repositioning another, and putting his finger under one's nose to check for breathing. Now, the family friend promptly picked up the girl and alerted her parents, who then contacted the families of the other girls. Upon testing at a local hospital, all 3 girls, including his daughter, were found to have benzodiazepine in their system. Now, this medication is commonly used to treat insomnia and anxiety.
Is that an over-the-counter drug,
No.
or is that prescription?
Nope.
It's prescription.
That is prescription. commonly referred to as
Benzos.
benzos.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is what that is.
Yeah.
Wow.
What was he going to do?
We both know he had some evil intent. There's no way, because I just call bullshit on all of that. I wanted them to be well rested for the next day, but I wanted to get some sleep. So I'm going to give them a freaking prescription medication and they're 12?
Yeah.
No, he had other plans. He wanted him knocked out so he could. I don't even want to talk about what I think he could do.
Yeah. And it's not acceptable to be drugging kids. But let's just say he wanted them to sleep and he drugged the smoothies. The fact that he went down and repositioned one of the girls, that's where I start to go, okay, listen, fuckstick, you're up to no good here. It's another thing to drug them and go, I want them sleeping, peek
But
down
you
the
don't
stairs
get to
and
make
go,
that
okay,
decision. You don't get to drug somebody without their knowledge.
no.
And they're 12. Like, there's so many things that are so wrong that I honestly think 2 years in prison's not enough. I just think he's full of shit and made up an excuse. I think he wanted to stage photos or do nefarious things with these kids.
Mm-hmm.
There's no good intent. There's no, I just wanted him to be well rested. And then it makes me concerned. Has he done this to his own daughter before?
That's a really good question because she also drank the smoothie and had it in her system.
He did it to his own kid.
Yeah. And during the sentencing, the courtroom heard emotional statements from the families of the affected children. One mother passionately addressed him, saying, "No decent parent feels the need to drug their own child and her friends. No decent parent feels the need to go down and confirm children are unconscious. No decent parent puts their hands on drugged and unconscious young girls without nefarious intent."
Agreed.
100%.
Amen to that.
Yep. Now, this dipshit expressed remorse, telling the court, "My whole life is destroyed. Everything that was important to me up until that point
it's all
is
about
gone."
him. It's all about him. I'm not sorry for what I did. My whole life is destroyed now. You did it to yourself.
You made the decision. It's not like these girls fell into the smoothie. You made the smoothie.
You did it all on purpose. And then you went to check on them to make sure that they're knocked out.
Yep.
I just have this weird feeling that this is not the first time this happened. This is the first time someone didn't drink the smoothie. But I wonder if, she's 12. My guess is this was not her first sleepover. It's happened before. I just have to wonder if he's done this before and he got away with it and he's planning on getting away with it again.
It would be interesting to know, were there other people in this community that were suspicious of this man? Was there anything else that made their red flag go up and go, this is not okay? Something about him is just giving me this icky feeling in my stomach,
Mm-hmm.
And I always tell people to follow your gut. If something doesn't feel right, follow your gut and figure it out.
Well, and he said the girls did not go to bed by 11 p.m. as he had hoped. They're 12. They're at a sleepover. You and I and everybody listening, whoever went to a sleepover at 12, your intent was to stay up the whole night.
Yes,
like you wanted to stay up as late as you possibly could. And then the parents in the middle of the night would be, girls, you've got to stop. 11 o'clock, you're just getting going.
Yeah.
You're not going to bed at 11. That's a sleepover. You're staying up. You're playing games. That's the whole idea. And then you go home and sleep the whole next day. That's what we would do.
Yeah. Your whole next day is ruined because you just crapped away your sleep over at your friend's house,
But I wanted him to
goes.
I wanted him to be asleep by 11. What? You're having a sleepover.
Why even have a sleepover?
Exactly. So he's just so full of shit. And poor him, his life is ruined. Oh, add in there, I did this all to myself.
Yeah.
Maybe if you led a good life and you're a better person, you wouldn't be in this situation. So as you can tell, this whole story just pisses me off.
As it should. It's terrible.
Anytime I hear stories like this with kids being involved, kids are harmed in any way, I just get pissed.
Yeah. His statement via his attorney, Mr. Meyden is incredibly remorseful and humbled by his conduct and choices. He understands appropriately that he hurt a lot of people and is very regretful of all of that. And his demeanor in court was authentic and genuine, showed nothing but sincerity in being apologetic and remorseful in his behavior. He's only sorry he got caught because he said he ruined his life.
I'm with you. He's sorry he got caught.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't planning on that.
What a dipshit.
And whatever he was planning on, we'll never know. But I will guarantee you it didn't have anything to do with him making sure the girls got a good night's sleep. You don't give them like prescription medication for a good night's sleep.
No, and benzos are controlled substances. So, I don't think they got him with, they got him with the drug thing, but also it's a controlled substance. You're not supposed to give that to anybody other than to whom it was prescribed. Mm-hmm. It says on the bottle, it's like taking a look at the tag on your mattress. Does that ever get enforced? I don't know. But in this case, it's not just that he drugged young children, but he gave away a prescription that wasn't prescribed to these people. I mean, I think you could nail him on a bunch of things. I
do too. And I'm happy he has at least 2 years to sit there and think about it. I wish it was longer.
I do too. He did end up getting divorced from his wife of 16 years after this incident.
As his wife, don't you suppose she would be very suspicious at this point? Like, if you did that then, when else have you done this? And have you put our daughter in harm's way? Have you done anything with our daughter that she might not even know happened?
Yeah.
I got the feeling it just wasn't the first time.
I think you're right. And I just did a little search. One of the text messages from the gal said, "Mom, please pick me up and say I had a family emergency. I don't feel safe."
Oh, that breaks my heart.
Yeah. The remainder of the text said, "I might not respond, but please come get me," with a crying emoji, and says, please pick up, please. So this girl, 12 years old, felt incredibly unsafe and was trying to figure out, what can I do? I wish she had called 911.
Well, at least he got reported. The parents obviously reported this. Mm-hmm. And that poor little girl, could you imagine being her parents and getting those messages?
Oh, God. What a nightmare.
Smart kid. She saved those other kids.
Yes, she did.
From whatever he was planning on doing with them, because it wasn't about them getting a good night's sleep.
You're locked into the Hidden Killers podcast.
Want more? Start binging on all of our true crime podcasts right now through Apple Podcasts and get an ad-free experience when you sign up to be a True Crime Today Premium Plus member exclusively on Apple Podcasts.
More of the Hidden Killers podcast dropping soon.
Press subscribe now.